every weekly morning when you check your bank account. And for a second, just a second, you feel genuinely confused. Like, where did it go? You weren't being reckless. You didn't buy anything crazy, but somehow the money just disappeared into coffee runs, into that subscription you forgot about, into things you don't even remember buying. And the worst part, this keeps happening month after month. You tell yourself, I'm more careful next time, and you mean it. But next time comes, and somehow you end up in the exact same place. Sound familiar? Yeah, that's not a you problem. That's your brain doing exactly what it was designed to do. Here's the thing nobody talks about. Managing money isn't really about math. It's about psychology. Because you already know you shouldn't be impulse buying. You already know you should save more. The information isn't the problem. The problem is something deeper, something happening inside your head. Before you even open your wallet, think about the last time you bought something you didn't need. Maybe it was late at night. Maybe you were bored, stressed, or just scrolling. And for a brief moment buying that thing felt like a solution. Like it would make you feel better, more in control, more comfortable. That feeling is real, and it's powerful, and your brain is literally built to chase it. Here's the science, and stay with me, because this part changes everything. Every time you buy something, your brain releases a small hit of dopamine. That's the chemical responsible for reward, pleasure, and motivation. And the tricky part, the dopamine spike actually hits before you buy, during the anticipation, during the browsing, during the checkout process. By the time the package arrives, the high is already fading. So your brain isn't rewarding you for making a good financial decision. It's rewarding you for the act of spending itself. You've been trained, over years, to associate buying with feeling good. And it gets worse. There's a psychological concept called present bias. Your brain naturally values immediate pleasure way more than future reward. So when you're standing in a store, or hovering over that buy now button, your future self, the one who'd benefit from saving, feels completely abstract, almost fake. But the dopamine hit right now, that feels very, very real. This is why discipline alone never works. You can't out-willpower a neurological pattern. You have to redesign the environment. But here's what most people don't realize. Your brain is also incredibly adaptable. The same system that got you into these spending loops can be rewired, not through punishment or restriction, but through smarter habits and systems. So let's get into it. Here's a framework that actually works not because it's complicated, but because it works with your brain instead of against it. Step 1. Create a 24-hour friction rule. Before any non-essential purchase, you wait 24 hours. That's it. Just one day. What this does is interrupt the dopamine loop at the anticipation stage. Most of the time, after 24 hours, the urge quietly disappears. The thing you needed in the moment suddenly feels optional, sometimes even pointless. Step 2. Let saving feel like a reward, not a sacrifice. Most people treat saving like punishment, like they're taking something away from themselves. But your brain doesn't respond well to restriction. So flip the script. Give your savings account a name, something meaningful. Freedom fund, future trip, my exit plan. Suddenly, transferring money there feels like progress, not loss. That's dopamine working for you instead of against you. And this is where things get really interesting. Step 3. Use the cost per hour method. And this one is a game changer. Whenever you're about to spend money, don't think in dollars or rupees or whatever your currency is. Think in hours of your life. If you earn the equivalent of $10 an hour and you're about to spend $80 on something impulsive, that's 8 hours of your life, a full workday. Suddenly, the purchase doesn't feel as light anymore. This one mental shift makes your spending feel real in a way that numbers on a screen never do. Because time is something your brain understands emotionally. Money, weirdly, it doesn't, not naturally. Step 4. Automate your finances before your brain gets involved. The biggest mistake people make is trying to manually manage every financial decision. That's exhausting, and your willpower is a limited resource. It depletes throughout the day. So by evening, When most impulse purchases happen, your self-control is basically running on empty. The fix: automate. Set up an automatic transfer to savings the moment your income arrives. Pay bills automatically. Budget what's left. When the decision is already made before you even see the money, your brain never gets the chance to negotiate with you. Out of sight, out of reach, out of the dopamine loop entirely. Step 5. Build a guilt-free spending category. This is the part most financial advice gets completely wrong. If you restrict yourself too hard, you'll eventually snap. Binge spending after a period of deprivation is one of the most common money patterns out there, and it sets you back further than if you'd never budgeted at all. So give yourself permission, intentionally set aside a small amount each month just for you. No justification needed. When you know you have money for fun, the scarcity feeling disappears, and with it, a lot of the impulsive urge to spend. And look, before we wrap up, I want to say something important. Your brain isn't broken. You're not bad with money because you're lazy or weak or irresponsible. You were just never taught how your own psychology interacts with spending. Nobody sat you down and explained dopamine loops or present bias, or why scrolling an online store at midnight is basically a trap designed by very smart people to trigger very specific feelings in you. You're not behind. You're just working with information you didn't have before. And that changes right now. Here's the truth: building better money habits isn't about becoming a different person. It's about understanding the person you already are. Working with your brain, not fighting it every single day. Start small. Pick one habit from today. Just one. The 24-hour rule. The automation, the cost per hour shift, whichever one hit you hardest. Implement it this week, not next month, not when things settle down, this week. Because the version of you who has financial clarity, who doesn't feel that Monday morning dread when checking their account, that version isn't some distant fantasy. It's just a few consistent habits away. You've got this. And if this video gave you even one useful shift in perspective, drop a comment below. Tell me which habit you're starting with. I read every single one.